Hey folks, Nick Jennison for Thinking About Guitar. We are coming to you from the luxurious Cameron House on Loch Lomond in Scotland, where we're at the Guitar Dreams Retreat, and we were lucky enough to sit down and have a chat with Earl Slick from no less than David Bowie's Diamond Dogs era band and 1,000 other projects. Jonathan Graham sat down, did a full interview with Earl. You can check that out at your leisure, I'm sure, but we also wanted to take a look at the guitars that bear his name. These are Slick guitars, not just in name, but also in presentation. They're very cool looking and very affordable retro relict rock machines. And this particular guitar caught my eye. This is the SL56. And you may be looking at this and thinking, is it a Tele? Is it a JM? It's got this semi-hollow thing going on. It is supremely cool. Before we talk more about this guitar, let's take one more listen to it. Now, in the intro, you heard me playing all of my favorite notes through all of my favorite gain. That's my Victory Super Crack. And we're going to strip things back to a clean tone with a little bit of spring reverb and maybe a dash of slapback. Let's take a listen to that, and then we'll come back and talk more about this very cool guitar. So now we've heard this guitar played clean and played dirty. Let's talk a little more about Slick guitars, who they are, the sort of things they do, and then we'll do a full nerdy deep dive on the spec of this particular instrument. We will be taking a look at these other two as well. Now, as you can see, Slick guitars are the product of Earl Slick, legendary guitar player. These all kind of came from Earl relicking his own instruments. He'd buy bodies in and he'd sand them down and make them look all weathered in the same way that he would do to his guitar straps, which you can also check out. They are very, very cool. And as you can see, they make a whole range of shapes. We have this very cool double cut junior type shape over here. We've got this S type with a single humbucker in the bridge. They all have a few things in common. It's this weathered look, this lovely satin feel. They're all crazily affordable. This guitar is sub £400 at the time of filming. They also have, which I think is really interesting, brass hardware. Now, I think this makes a big difference to the tone, especially on the saddles. I'm going to talk to you about this bridge in a second. And they all feature pickups that are spec'd and designed by Earl himself. We'll talk all about that when we go deep on the spec on this guitar. But before we do, we should probably listen to it again. So let's have a listen to a smattering of tones, and then we'll come back. We'll look deeply at the specifications. now we have a pretty clear idea of how this guitar sounds, let's talk more about the spec, and we're going to start by taking a look at the headstock. So beginning at the headstock, we have the slick name and logo with this open pore black finish. This is Canadian rock maple. I'm going to quickly flip it over and show you the back so we can get a good look at what we're dealing with here. These very, very attractive brass tuner buttons add to the look of the whole instrument. They also add a little bit of mass to the headstock end, which I think improves balance and some would say has an impact on the tone. You're free to make your own mind up about that. We have a sticker to indicate that this guitar is made in China, which would go some way towards explaining its low price point considering how high quality this is. Now, the neck itself feels super comfortable. You'll notice that this isn't relicked on the back. This is a new feeling neck, but it's finished in satin. It kind of matches the rest of the guitar in terms of tactile feel, and the fit and finish is absolutely excellent here. It's beyond reproach. The fret ends are lovely. Speaking of which, we'll show you the front. Also, this is an interesting touch. We have a walnut fretboard, which is, some would say, quite a premium wood. I think it looks really nice. It really fits the visual aesthetic of this guitar. I thought it was rosewood at first glance, but it is in fact walnut. Now, the frets themselves, we mentioned the frets, they are beautifully dressed and finished, and I would probably call them a medium jumbo profile. They're not super small. They're kind of in that Goldilocks zone. Now, you know I like big frets, but this is still a very comfortable guitar to play, and the setup is excellent straight from the box. Now, I know for a fact that Earl himself prefers 9s on these guitars. These guitars all come set up with the Dario 10s, but that kind of suits me. I think it's a nice, comfortable gauge for most folks. Now, turning our attention to the body for a second, this is really what caught my eye with this instrument. So, as you can see, this body is like an offset JM or Jag style body, but it's not as big. It's kind of like a mini telly-sized offset, and it's finished in this very cool open pore sand-blasted red and black. Other finishes are, of course, available, but there's a lot of very interesting stuff going on here. This is an ash body. Obviously, it's chambered. We've got a center block in the middle, which is going to help reduce feedback, but you still get that big resonant sound, and more importantly, the resonant feel of the guitar against your body while you're playing. The bridge is also another really interesting touch. Now, this is a wraparound bridge. I'm a big fan of wraparound bridges because of their stability and how easy they are to maintain, but this features 6 intonatable saddles. Now, you can undo the little grub screw here and slide these saddles back and forward to work on the intonation if you feel like you have to. We didn't need to out of the box. It came set up really great. But they also have this very sharp contact point going on here. Now, this is crucial for a bright, clear tone from the string. The string needs to see a very crisp and very sharp contact point. So that is nice to see with this bridge design. Now, the pickups themselves, these are designed to Earl's spec, and we have a Fullerton T-style bridge pickup in the bridge position. And then this P90, this is kind of a new addition. So one of the other guitars that bears this shape, you'll find a telly-style neck pickup. This is the Slick Junior P90, which comes from this guitar. Now, I've been chatting to Earl about this. We're both big fans of SG Juniors, and this particular pickup is very evocative of this kind of style of guitar, and they balance surprisingly well, given that traditionally telly-style pickups and P90s expect to see a different load from the pot. Normally, this is best with a 250. This is best with a 500. They do seem to balance really, really nicely, although the bridge pickup is definitely the more robust and bitey of the two, and the neck pickup is big and fat and warm. But in the middle position, they combine absolutely beautifully. Now, speaking of pickup positions, we have this very cool brass switch tip on our 3-way toggle, which gives us the option of 3 pickup positions. We have the bridge pickup, both pickups together, and the neck pickup. We have a master volume and a master tone with some very nice feeling milled brass knobs. To that end, let's take a tour of the tones that are available. We're going to begin with the bridge pickup, then we'll do both pickups together, then the neck pickup, and then we'll do the whole thing again with the dirty tone, but first we'll play it clean. Let's take a listen to how that sounds. there you go, folks. That's been a look at the SL56 from Slick Guitars. It's a super cool looking guitar from a very cool range of guitars by a legendary guitarist, Earl Slick. Be sure you check out the full interview Jonathan Graham did with Earl. Lots of fantastic stories in that. You really got to check it out. But for the time being, been a lot of fun looking at this instrument. We will do a range overview where we take a look at its sister instruments that I'm sitting next to, because to be honest, I just kind of want to play them. They're very, very cool guitars and ludicrously affordable. Check them out. I think you're going to enjoy them. My name's Nick Jennison for Thinking About Guitar. We are coming to you live from the Guitar Dreams Retreat in Loch Lomond in Scotland, and I think it's dinner time. I'll see you next time.